Hello, Fight fans, and welcome back to the Hit and Don't Get Hit podcast. Today, I'm just joined by Shay. James is, he's a bit delayed, so he'll just kind of join halfway through. But we've got an action-packed episode lined up for you today. We're going to talk Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather. We're going to talk UFC 263, and we're also going to talk Euro 2020. So, Shay, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. It's been a while. We've took a couple months off. I feel re-energised. Obviously enjoying the sunshine for a change, which is good. Been bashing the sunbeds. I know you and James have been hounding us for that in the group chat. But mate, just been carrying on for the summer. Obviously the Euros, plenty of UFC, plenty of just general stuff really that I'm looking forward to. And looking to crack on with the episode, like.
Sounds good. Right, so first off, the big event at the weekend was. I mean, it does still seem weird seeing these two people in the same sentence. Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather Jr. What did you think of that exhibition bout?
I was going to say, I wouldn't call it a fight. It was just painful to watch. I stopped up actually watching. I stopped up at 4 o'clock in the morning just to watch that, and I just couldn't believe it. I don't know what I was expecting. To be fair, it was worse than I actually expected, to be fair, but it was just silly to watch, really. I'm gonna blame it all on Floyd. In my eyes, it was a win for Logan. Do you know what I mean? You've lasted 8 rounds of apparently the greatest of all time. What do you see it? He's made a lot of money, Genie. Listen, Logan proved me wrong. I thought Floyd was going to dust him inside 2 rounds, but I think it was pretty clear he carried him throughout the fight. I still thought Floyd would have probably still got the stoppage, but Logan held his well. He flung his weight about. He used his weight advantage huge. It was by 30 something pounds, I think it was. But yeah, it was horrible for boxing. I think it was just stupid in a way, but I'll compare it with Jake. Jake's more entertaining than Logan. With Jake, he'll get action. Do you know what I mean? Jake's guaranteed knockouts, but with Logan, he got tired after the first round. He was just holding. It was just awful to watch. But I just hope. I don't know what's next for Floyd Mayweather. He was mentioning McGregor. He was mentioning KSI, Jake Paul. I don't know what he's going to do next, but it was a pretty joke for boxing. I think it just shows where boxing is at the minute. It's at the lowest I've ever seen it in my life. To be fair, boxing. With obviously not the big fights getting made. Obviously, the Joshua Furies and the Crawford Spencers. It's just painful, man. I think boxing is at an all-time low. I know I say it's quite a lot. UFC has overtook boxing. I think UFC, MMA as a whole, is a bigger combat sport than boxing at the minute. But it wasn't nice to watch. But hats off to Logan. He went 8 rounds with a Floyd Mayweather and got the bag.
What did you think about, obviously, in terms of pay? How much did Mayweather get? 100 mil, and Logan Paul got 20 million. I saw Costa's comments, and then Dana White kind of shut him down. What did you make of all that?
Dana White's right. What does Costa expect? He's a 200 grand fighter in my eyes. You're coming off. He doesn't bring no pay-per-view revenue at this point. That fight against Adesanya was more Izzy. The way UFC pay is based on. You got to think UFC is a whole one company. Do you know what I mean? Whereas boxing, you've got many other influencers sponsors, blah blah blah. UFC, its own company with many 3 or 4 sponsors. Anyways, but he says after shambolic display against Izzy, what's he expect to get paid for? He says 300 grand or more. If you look, you get 200 grand. If you ask me, he needs it. No, listen, he needs it. He's took the loss. He's pulled out with 2 fights now. He pulled out with Whittaker, and he's pulled out in the Cannonier fight. Get back in the octagon and prove to you, prove everyone wrong. You're back in the mix. Get a win back. As soon as he gets a win, an impressive win, he's back in the mix. Do you know what I mean? But he's been knocking about with Logan and Jake too much, I think. And it's got into his head. But overall, I kind of agree with what Jake was saying about the the payment, but then again, like I mentioned, you've got to look at pay-per-view bonuses and like, but Paulo Costa needs to shut up. Like,
I do think though, with what Jake Paul was saying, I don't think he cares about their pay. I think he was genuinely just trying to get a Dana White. I don't think he cares about how much they get paid, because at the end of the day, he's making millions boxing, 40-year-old ex-UFC fighters.
I can see maybe Logan going into the UFC.
Well, Bellator's offered him.
Yeah, I don't think Logan will. I think Logan will try to get in the UFC. No offense to Bellator, but he'd want that UFC exposure.
Status, yeah.
It's a bigger brand. Like I wouldn't see headline a pay-per-view. I can see him being on the main card of a pay-per-view one time. Logan Paul. I mean, he's pretty decorated wrestler. He's a pretty good wrestler, so you never know what could happen. But he'll not be like anywhere near top 15. Whatnot.
No.
I'd like to see Logan in the UFC. I think that'd be a next good move. I'd like to see Logan against Jake. I think that'll be interesting. I think Jake destroys him. Like, but obviously with Jake taking this fight, another fight against Tyron Woodley, what we've been talking about. If this is not fixed, I'd just say Tyron Woodley put them out cold.
I really hope he does.
Like,
I really hope he does.
I pray to God, but I just think it's fixed. Me, I just think it's all set up like the Ben Askren one was set up. Like, it's just signed a multi-million-dollar contract with Showtime. Well, I don't know whose main broadband Showtime. Floyd Mayweather. He's just fought his brother. There's a storyline to be made there. He'll put on a great display again, knocking out Tyron Woodley, and then he'll fight Floyd Mayweather and probably get his arse whooped. But fair play, he's making money, getting that paper. But I really want Tyron Woodley. I pray to God Tyron Woodley just lands on him and knocks him out. We'll see.
So do I. But again, though, like in terms of pay, again, Woodley's going to get he's going to get a few million for that fight. And I know I kind of get your Costa comments about him deserving, the pay he gets. But on the UFC as a whole, do you not think they should be getting paid more for what they do than what they get?
A rise. I think they should get paid a rise. Therefore, I think it should be a rise. But we're talking pay-per-view. Like the money we're talking about for Jon Jones, like $30 million.
I think that's a bit over the top.
Conor McGregor didn't make $30 million against Dustin Poirier, and he brought in. He's a pay-per-view star. Jon Jones is the greatest MMA fighter of all time. He's not a pay-per-view star. People will be paying in to see Francis Ngannou rather than Jon Jones. I think Francis Ngannou is a pay-per-view star in the making. I think he'll be on that level of. If he brings violence, he's guaranteed action. Like your McGregors and your Adesanyas, like Jon Jones has decreased over the last couple of years and like fallen us to decisions. And like, I think Ngannou. I don't think that fight will happen.
I don't think it will as well.
I don't
because
think
Dana White keeps every time he comes out and speaks about it, it's as if he's trying to put Jon Jones off fighting. Like he doesn't want to pay him the big bucks, and he'd rather Ngannou fight the rest of the heavyweights. And then he's saying you should fight Stipe, but then straight away coming out and saying Stipe would smash you. So it's as if he doesn't want him to fight.
Yeah, I think Dana White and Jon Jones' relationship the past year, like couple of years, is they hit and miss really.
Aye.
But if Jon Jones is fit and wants to fight, he should fight Ngannou. He's the next title shot. And then let Stipe work his way up. I know Stipe is the greatest heavyweight of all time, but he still has to fight in a contender.
Yeah.
He hasn't fought a contender like without a belt since before the Fabricio Verdun fight back in 2016, I think it was. But yeah, we'll see. That'll plan out. Hopefully we'll get Francis in the summer. Whether it is against Jon Jones, who knows?
Hopefully we do. So I think on the topic of UFC, we'll move on to the big card happening at the weekend, UFC 263, where we've got three. Same as I think it was UFC 261. We've got three massive fights.
Yeah.
Obviously we've got Nate Diaz against Leon Edwards, Figueiredo against Moreno 2, and of course the main event, Adesanya against Vettori. So I think we'll start with Diaz's fight first. How do you see that one playing out?
I think it's gonna it's going to be a one-sided display. I think Leonardo is going to pound him. And like, but Nate Diaz, if you watch Nate Diaz fights, so that cut against his left eye always opens.
Exactly.
I just think Leon will just beat him up on the feet, clubs take him down, but Nate's dangerous on his back. But I think it'll be a one. I think he'll get the doctor stoppage. Like he'll bust him up really bad. I say Nate not coming out for the fifth round. So I think around the fourth round, Leon Edwards, I'd say.
So you think it's going to be similar to his fight against Masvidal where they had to stop it?
Yeah, I think the cut's going to be extreme. It's a cut. You know what I mean? Like, plus I love Nate Diaz. I love his personality. I love him as a person. Like he's like personality, his persona. But he's fighting like that. He's average really, just the journeyman level. You ask me. But he's on for pay-per-views for Nate Diaz. Everyone tunes in to watch Nate Diaz. That probably the majority of the cards. Majority of the viewers tune in Saturday night to watch Nate Diaz. And he's the third from last fight. So it's just, he has that name caliber, him and McGregor, where he's in the non-title fights. Like, normally Nate Diaz has been a 3-rounder. Now, like you see him coming into the 5th round, I think him and McGregor only possesses that. If it's not for a title, he'll fight in the 5-rounder.
Yeah.
Obviously, headlines, pay-per-views, 5-rounder with Cowboy, Dustin Poirier. We'll continue to say that, I think, with Nate Diaz. And I think the winner of this fight gets a title shot.
What do you think? What you think if Nate Diaz wins, he gets a title shot?
Probably, yeah, because I think I don't want to say Nate Diaz outlasting. I think if he puts in the grip, like it, I don't know. Like, I think he'll get. I think only Leon gets beaten if he gets too cocky on the ground and Nate catches him, slips him in like a triangle or something like that. And that would be a big statement putting away Leon Edwards one on the unbelievable fight win streak. And it's a proves another test that Kamaru Usman. You know what I mean? That's big for him, fighting Nate Diaz in a pay-per-view, guaranteed buys. I think with Kamaru Usman, if you had to pick who would rather fight, he'd fight Diaz. Because he's already beat Edwards once left the prison. Edwards has come on leaps and bounds since that fight, but the Nate Diaz and Kamaru Usman fight would be more interesting, I think.
Fair enough. So, I think moving on to the second fight on the card, Figueiredo Moreno. First off, what did you think of the first fight, and then secondly, how do you think this fight will go?
Absolute war from the first bell to the last one. It was an absolute tear up. I probably had it sneakily Figueiredo by a round. It was very, very close. The draw was a foul result in the end. But I just like the reason before the fight, I thought Figueiredo would stop him inside 2 rounds. But Moreno stuck in there. It was a hell of a fight, brilliant fight. But just if you compare the last fight, Figueiredo had 2 fights close together. It was like 2 weeks apart, something like that.
Uh-huh. And Moreno struggles with the 1-2-5 cut. So I think that becomes a big factor, and he got cutting weight twice in a matter of weeks. So it'll take a toll on your body and affect stamina issues. And he's faded in the last couple of rounds against Moreno. I think this will not be the case this time. I think Figueiredo gets it done. Then about, I'd say, 2nd round, I think he'll stop him. I think he'll drop him a couple of times and he'll finally put him away. But Moreno is tough. He's very durable. But I think it's Figueiredo's time. Let's say it goes to a decision again. Who do you think will have more of a chance of winning the decision?
I think it'll be Figueiredo. I think they do a lot of damage the first 3 rounds. And if it goes close, I think we'll just give it to Figueiredo anyway, because if Figueiredo wins here, that leaves the door. I don't think he'll stop at 1-2-5 for much longer. I think he'll step into that, what I think is the best division in UFC has to offer in the bantamweight division. I can see him easily slotting in there, fighting like a Petr Yan or Aljamain Sterling, champ. well, they call him the champ anyway. Obviously the Jose Aldo's, Dominic Cruz's. I think that I say Figueiredo is a big 125. It looks about 145 in there, something like that. But I say him moving up if he wins this fight. I think if he loses, he'll probably make a trilogy, something like that. Depending how the fight goes. But I'm just looking forward to that fight. I think that's going to be a fight of the night. That's the best fight to watch, like 100%.
You've mentioned him moving up weight. Do you think he'd become the double champ at those two weight divisions or not?
It depends who the champion is at the time. If it's Aljamain Sterling, definitely 100%. But Petr Yan, it's a tough one to call. I think it'll be a cracking fight. Him against Petr Yan. I think he can do it 100%, but just depends on the fighter who holds the title at that time.
All right, fair enough. So moving on to the main event of the evening. Sound a bit like Bruce Buffer there, but we've got Adesanya coming off his loss, and we've got Vettori coming off a win. Where do you see this one going?
Izzy. I think Izzy schools him, to be fair. I rewatched the fight. First fight, I think it was about 2 days ago. I had Izzy a clear 2 rounds to 1. There's no robbery there. But I think there'll be a similar result to the Costa fight. I see and fight early. I think Vettori has that style-wise coming forward, sits the pressure on, like a similar Costa style. But we're saying that for the Yan fight, but obviously Yan was much bigger. It's going to be much bigger than Vettori on fight day. And then, is he coming through, showing his class? And then gets a stoppage. Probably again, I say a third round. Probably the third round. If he gets a third round stoppage, and then we'll see what the future holds for Izzy. I think after this, he'll fight another rematch in Robert Whittaker. I think that's a very intriguing fight down the line. Robert Whittaker's patiently waiting there. He was offered the Izzy fight, but he turned it down because he hadn't much time to recover, which is fair enough, to be fair to him. But 185's intriguing division as well. You've obviously got Darren Taylor's fighting in the summer against Derek Brunson, which is a cracking fight. Jack Hermanson got a win not too long ago. You've obviously got Robert Whittaker, Paulo Costa, Cannonier, Uriah Hall, and fighters like that. It's a very intriguing 185 division. It'll be interesting if Adesanya can see the year out as champion.
So in terms of all right, let's just say Vettori wins. Does he get the rematch, or does Whittaker get the next shot?
No, I don't think both of them. I think the next fight is not Logan. I think it'll be Kamaru Usman. I think it'll straight up make Kamaru Usman against Marvin Vettori. I look at it as if he losing this fight, that's him losing 2 in a row. He'll want to take some time away, like gather his thoughts and take some time off. He is very active, to be fair. But I'll just say the Whittaker will sort itself out. But I see him giving it to Usman, really, because for Usman to be double champ, that'll solidify him as pound for pound number 1, which he is pound for pound number 1, to be fair to him. But we'll see what happens. I think he'll get the job done. Marvin is a good fighter though, but is he special, is he?
Right, moving on to a non-fighting matter. We've got the Euros coming up, which I'm very, very excited for. There's a whole host of absolutely phenomenal teams. You've got the likes of France, Portugal, Germany. They're all in the same group. You've got Spain, you've got Italy, you've got England. Who do you think is going to be the winner? Straight up, who's going to be the winner?
I might be a bit biased, but I think it's coming home this year. I generally think it's coming home this year. I think it's all set up for England to win. I know we've got the full group stage at home, Wembley. I think it's at the quarter final. Or it's or the round of 16. Wembley,
I think there's a round of 16 game at Wembley, but I don't know whether if we're in line for it.
But obviously the semi-finals and finals is all at Wembley. So I think we've best squad we've had in a long time, a very long time. I'm just excited. I was buzzing for it really, but no doubt I'll be disappointed again. We have a semi-final heartbreak.
Of course.
But I'm optimistic. I think the lads can do. I think we can bring it home. What do you think will happen?
As much as I'd love to believe that, I don't think we will. I don't know. I just think other teams will probably play better than us. I think we've got some phenomenal players, but they're all very good individually.
Yeah,
and they haven't. We haven't really, basically, even in the friendlies, as of recent against Romania and I can't remember who the other one it was the other day. We didn't play our full strength team, and I know players were away for the Champions League, but you've kind of got to test your team against poorer teams.
Agree. And I think it's hard for the players also to get motivated. Do you know what I mean? Like for a friendly against Romania, you're not really going to get yourself up for it. You know what I mean? It's a waste of time putting Jesse Link on him if he's not going to play him. James Ward-Prowse. Well, I think it's a travesty that he's not going by all the way.
I agree with that strongly.
The best free kick taker, best set piece taker, imagine not going. I just think he's bizarre. Gareth Southgate's choices, but I'll stand by him this year. I generally think if we don't win this year, I think he's gone.
I think he is as well, 100%. Unless we get the final. I think if we get the final and say get beat off France or something, I don't think he'll get sacked. Yeah. But if we go out in the round of 16 or the quarters,
I would have seen him sacked before the tournament. Me, I'd be more confident if we had a Frank Lampard, even a Steve Dean or somewhere, or Wenger. Wenger was linked before.
He would never go to England.
Moreno was linked as well.
He would never go either.
Imagine Jose Moreno's had him meant by England.
But you know what? I want to address this quickly with Gareth Southgate. If we let's say he gets sacked, who would you have as manager? I know you said Frank Lampard there. I think the FA will pick Lampard, but I wouldn't want Lampard. I'd want Sean Dyche. I think he's deserved it. I don't think Frank Lampard's deserved it.
I don't think Dyche deserves. I think he'll want to stop at club level. I think that's more his style. Do you know what I mean? Lampard, I think he'll do well with the England setup. But he knows he's best with the young players. He's obviously coming for him. The majority of the England players now was under 23, 24. Obviously got the Mason Mount, Fordens.
Yeah, it's a young squad.
Yeah, so I think Lampard would be the best in that department for the England. I think the whole FAS setup stinks. It's just horrible. Edie Boothroyd is under 21 manager. They're the best under 21 team in that tournament in the European Championships. Didn't come nowhere. Got knocked out in the group stage.
But I agree with that. I don't think. I mean, I don't really know who he is anyway. I looked at his Wikipedia a few weeks ago and I was like, well, you haven't played for anyone really notable. You haven't really managed anyone notable. And then the only thing I can back him up with is he doesn't really have a choice of players because Southgate's picking likes of Bellingham and he's like Greenwood, Foden. He's picking all the players that he could pick. So I don't know. It's a tough one with him. I wouldn't have him as manager, but I do see his point. And also we've got James who's just joined. Hello, James.
Hello, good to see you. Oh, he is.
You've missed a lot.
I know. What have I missed?
Everything. We're on the Euros now.
Well, I've missed Logan Paul fight.
Yeah.
UFC.
Yeah.
So it's pointless me joining.
But you can talk about the football now. You like your football, so.
Aye. Well.
Blame Pure Gym for apparently locking you in.
Well, I wanna say something about the Pure Gym then. Before Pure Gym, disgrace, an absolute disgrace. The doors shut at 7:30 I get the gym at 7, finishing for 8 to come back and do the pod. The doors decide to shut. And I'm looking while I'm doing my workout like, oh, well, it's going to be sound. They'll sort this out. I finished my workout, and it took half an hour for them to sort the doors out. So
Which doors? Because there's the ones at Tesco and then there's the one at the front.
So I've realised now I could have used a fire exit, but I decided not to do that. So I apologise to all the fans for being late onto the pod. And yeah, onto the Euros. I'm going to make a bold prediction, get out of the group, and then get knocked out first game.
So who do you predict? Who do you think will win the Euros?
France. I think their squad's too strong.
Where do you think will come? Do you ready 16?
Not like because do you know who we play if we come top of our group? We play second from that group, and I honestly don't know. Like, I think we could give Portugal a good game. What I will say is if Germany managed to
I'm going to say it's
mad that I'm even going to say this, but cause an upset and actually get out their group, which is mad to say. I do think we could beat Germany if we come first and they come second, but I don't know. I just don't think Southgate's tactics are good enough. To be honest,
I'm going to make a prediction here. Bold, very bold. I don't think France will get out the group stage.
Whoa.
I don't. I just.
How?
Do you know how? There's a repetitive thing. I know it's only World Cup.
World Cup.
That's World Cup, not Euros. That.
I'm just saying. Do you know what thing I'm on about?
Yeah.
Italy win it in 2006. They go out in the group stage.
But that was
Spain win it, and then they go out in the group stage. Germany win it, and then they go out to group stage. I'm just seeing. I just think there's always an upset, and the France squad is that good. Is it too good in a way?
No. Yeah, it's everyone says everyone thinks the two strongest teams will get the final, so that's obviously in France and Portugal. That's not going to happen. There will be a shock, somewhere along the line where a random team gets knocked out.
I think Turkey's a big shock. I think they can do well. Italy as well. Italy's got a good squad this year. But France probably has got the best team on paper, but I just think one of them games is just a banana skin for them.
Thing is, our squad, England squad, you'd expect minimum semi-finals from our squad, realistically on paper. But Southgate's tactics to me just aren't good enough. If you look at the friendlies, I don't know, man. He should have picked Ward Prowse. I'd have had Ward Prowse in my starting 11. Never mind the squad, So it is but I think overall we've got a strong enough squad to do well. I think we'll win on Sunday as well.
Yeah, I think we'll win on Sunday quite easily.
Depends who he plays, in my opinion.
I think I'll get this up with that. I'll read it out. This is a team I seen on Twitter, which I agree with at this minute. Pickford and Guo.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Reece James right back.
Disagree already.
Ben White.
What? No.
John Stones.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
Declan Rice.
Shows if you've no, okay, fair enough. Yeah, sorry.
Rice, yeah.
Declan Rice. Mason Mount.
Yeah.
Phil Foden.
Yeah.
Jack Grealish.
Yeah.
Sancho.
No.
Nah,
I wouldn't pick Sancho.
Because you've already got 4 midfielders there.
Obviously would pick Keane, but
then you've only got one more striker to pick. 2 strikers, sorry. So
I honestly don't think he'll start Grealish, and I'll be fuming. But I don't think he will.
I was in the no Grealish zone before the friendlies, and in both
really?
cases, Grealish. I always let him.
He's our best player.
He's not. Phil Foden's our best player.
After Kane.
Phil Foden's better than Jack Grealish.
Look at the squad that you've just listed there, without Bellingham and Sancho as well. Our squad is so strong to actually do well in it.
Our star players. Phil Foden, he's going to win us the Euros. So he's got a haircut.
I've got a. Listen, right. That really bugs us because I've seen on Instagram and Twitter, people sharing the photo and going, "Oh, it's coming home." It didn't come home in '96. What makes you think that it's going to come home now? Just because they've got similar haircuts does not mean it's coming home. I'm sorry. I want it to come home, but it has no relevance.
Remember 2018, where everyone did that thing where it was like 2018 take away 1966. Then they added like the games. They did some like shitty maths, and then like that. Then they said we're going to win the World Cup,
and we didn't.
It was yeah. Well,
he's got that faith, man.
That was a great time to be alive. 2018.
He's got to have faith, belief in the boys. You got to cheer them on.
Oh, of course. Obviously, I will be.
In the sitting room on Sunday.
Oh, come on! You can't watch an England game without putting your England shirt on.
Exactly.
It's the rule.
I don't have an England shirt.
Get one.
Shame on you.
Get a
first. Are you watching this pub?
I'm watching it in the house, me. The first watching the Czech Republic and the Croatia game. I'm watching the house. Then the Scotland one I'm going out for.
Scotland's the second game.
And I'm going out for the whole of the group stage. The whole of the knockout stage, sorry.
We'll get knocked out first game.
You remind us of someone being so like, I don't know, carry on. You got that faith, man. Phil Foden is going to lead us to victory.
No, I honestly, I'd say we'd win it if we had a better manager, or even if Southgate just had better tactics.
If Southgate left tomorrow, who would you get in? Realistic.
We've already given our answers.
Eddie Howe.
It's good shout, to be fair. Good shout.
Because
I'd accept that. Definitely accept that.
I know he failed at I wouldn't even say he failed at Bournemouth. He was just
he did not fail at Bournemouth. He was class.
He was unreal. I just think he's young. Like, why not give him a chance? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why not? Like, he's positive, so yeah, I'll take him. But that's not going to happen. We're going to have to stick with Southgate. And if Southgate ends up doing well in this tournament, then everyone's going to fall in love with him again.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because everyone loved him in 2018.
The thing is about 2018, I loved 2018. Don't get me wrong, I loved.
It was overrated.
Did any? That's my point. It was overrated.
It wasn't overrated.
No, it was because
we were gonna win the World Cup.
No, listen. The run itself was overrated.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
The run was very overrated. It's just like I just think people remember the Colombia game, the last minute.
Colombia,
I cried.
I know, but it was unreal.
We got beat for Asian Croatia team and all. And watch us go down on Sunday and whip the fuck out of Croatia 4-0 or something like that. It's so like England.
Remember the Tunisia one where we beat them the last minute?
Yeah. That game was a disgrace though. The referee had a stinker that game. I remember that.
It was the momentum of being an England fan and we felt it. I remember because I remember looking at something in 1990 World Cup Italia. We didn't play well in that World. That was the one that everyone says Italia 90 was better than Euro 96, who was there for Italia 90. And if you look at that, we only finished on 5 points in the group. I think we had Ireland and Egypt in the same group. We beat Nigeria in the quarter-final, and I think we scored a last-minute goal against Belgium, and that's the one where Gaza cried in the semi-finals. So on paper, again, not a good run, but it's just the momentum, isn't it? You think it's going to happen. So I don't think it's going to happen this year. Or it's just, I don't know. It's just not enough. It's not enough belief. It's a shame we can't go to fan zones as well. Where they set up the fan zones, that's really good. But it'll be interesting. I think Italy play Turkey in the first game on Thursday night. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Euros. It's great when they're on. And you do just watch football all day, every day, which is good. But yeah.
That was class. The thing is, World Cup 2018 was mint. I remember I watched every single game.
I think it overcame all expectations as well, because everyone's like, "Oh, it's Russia, it's gonna be crap. England, gonna be crap." And then not only did England have such a good World Cup, every game was unreal.
Exactly. I know that was the best World Cup in my eyes in my lifetime.
Oh yeah.
2014 we got knocked out in the group. It was crap. 2010 was the Lampard's goal against Germany. That just soured it all.
And that was a rubbish World Cup.
I spent 2010 in the 2010 World Cup in Florida. I was in Florida when the Rob Green incident.
American football hype for they call it soccer obviously, but like the football hype there has actually gone mental, you know, like now, last few years since 2010 World Cup.
Well, they won a tournament the other day. I can't remember what it was called. Is that the Americans one?
Yeah. How are we going to wrap it up?
Was it that Peters who scored against Mexico?
Yeah, it was. Someone scored.
Like
They scored like last minute, extra time.
yeah. Yeah.
But no, with this World Cup, right? I think. I mean, what do I know really? But
Euros, by the way, just a correction.
Sorry, Euros. We've just been talking about the World Cup. Sorry, yeah. This Euros, I think what Southgate should have done was, right? I know it hasn't kicked off yet. We could win it. I could look like a fool here. But you've got James Ward-Prowse, who's got one of the best free kick accuracies in the Premier League. You've got Jack Grealish, who has been fouled.
He's not in the squad.
No. Here's out here. I'm saying this is what should have happened.
Right,
You've got Jack Grealish, who's been fouled the most in the Premier League. What you should do is, I know he's not being picked. He should have picked him. James Ward-Prowse, get him on free kicks and corners after Jack Grealish has just been fouled, and get Stones and Maguire to head them in. Sorted. Proper Route 1 football.
We won min from set pieces in 2018 World Cup, remember?
Exactly, that's my point. Why would you drop that? We scored literally all of our goals from set pieces, whether it be penalties, free kicks, or corners. Like how many was it? Like 75% of our goals were that. I can only think of Kane's header, Lingard's goal, Kane's third goal in that the Panama game. That weren't corners, free kicks, or penalties. That's 3 goals. So that would have been my tactic.
It was a travesty how he hasn't took James Ward-Prowse, by the way.
I agree. He should have taken him. I don't know why he's picked White. I don't know why he picked 4 right backs in the first place. We're bringing 10 defenders to a tournament. He's only going to play max 5.
Yeah.
It's not like every single one of them are going to get injured. Now I say that probably will happen, but. Aye, but I'm looking forward nonetheless.
Yeah, well, I'm really excited for the Euros. I just can't wait for it. I can't wait for the Scotland game. I've seen loads of Scots on Twitter giving it the big in. It's like the first.
They always do, though.
It's like a big deal for them, isn't it? The first tournament.
Imagine London next Friday if it was like going ahead like 100%, like England, Scotland. It would have been a fucking bloodbath. Like it would have been mental that. Yeah, good. I'm looking forward to it. I just don't believe England are going to do well in it.
I've got faith in the boys. So we'll see.
We will see. I'm looking forward to that. Shea, do you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, that's it. For 10th episode. It feels like 20 episodes being with these two, but quality chat there. I know we took a break, but I think we'll be back more regularly around this time. And now we'll see. But obviously, the football coming up, and obviously many other things that we'll be doing in summer. Schedules hitting up in the UFC, and we'll be doing a big build-up for the Paul Rhea McGregor trilogy.
Which McGregor will lose? Which McGregor will lose?
Oh,
James, shut up, will ya? Look at me. We're doing this outro, by the way. I'm not ending this outro out. Like, anyways, James, shut up. Anyways, like, so tune in for that. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you have a safe weekend. Stay safe, whatever. Get pissed. Hope England win on Sunday. Please, boys.
Boom.
Boom.